What's up, y'all? I'm back. It's your girl, Icy Mona, and I'm here for another review of Chrisean and Blueface, Crazy in Love, Season 2, Episode 3. Before we get into things, y'all know what to do. Scan that QR code. If you want to connect with me on social media, you can also do so by clicking the link in the description to get directly to me. So let's get into it. So, starting off, we're continuing from the previous episode where Chrisean is having her meltdown, saying how she doesn't want to be famous anymore and all that. So, her sister's in the pool. The other one comes out to the pool as well. And her sister just starts praying over her and just trying to comfort her. I'm not gonna lie, the dog in the background, obviously he was trying to figure out what was going on with all the commotion, but he was getting on my nerves. Like, can you sit? Like, come on, bruh. Anyways, so after that, the mom like ends up arriving like a few moments after. And it was funny because when the mom came in there, Chrisean's like, "Mom, where's your teeth?" No, her mom was like, "Oh, I lost them." And then one of the sisters was like, "Oh, look, y'all matching now." But anyways, so they're in her room, and all the sisters and the mom and Chrisean, and basically her mom, Chrisean is catching her mom up, and she's telling her how like, yo, like I do not want to have this kid anymore. I want to get an abortion. And her mom is just like in shock, and she was like, "What? Like, well, then give it to me." And she was like, basically encouraging her to still have this baby and telling her like a kid won't stop her, nothing won't stop her. And then she relates it to herself because she's like, I had 12 of y'all. I'm ahead. I'm like, dang, like I forgot. Like I know Chrisean hella siblings, but I'm like 12? Woo. But she was like, and that didn't stop me. And then she started talking very highly about the other siblings, how like they all came out great. She even mentions too how Chrisean's brother has like two shops or whatever. I'm curious to know what industry her brother works in, or what like type of shop he owns. But I'm like, like mom should be proud of her kids, like for making their way, and obviously the struggles that they had in their childhood, but being able to overcome that. They end up drinking wine because one of the sisters I hear is like, "Give me some of that." I thought they was about to roll up. I mean, well, they did end up rolling up because basically they step outside, they're drinking, smoking, whatever. While they're outside, the mom is still going on, basically ranting and encouraging Chrisean about being strong. And then she brings up how like she was like abused herself, which we already know from like the last season. But when she was pregnant with Chrisean, and Chrisean's looking at her like, okay, and that's like exactly why I want to get this abortion. I don't want to like have to go through like hella shit like that. Like, nah. So they take a little break, split up for a little bit, and then they end up meeting back all in the room. And the mom starts getting emotional because she basically is telling Chrisean, like, you never listen to me. And the other sister, the younger one, is like agreeing, like, yeah, like you don't be listening to her, whatever. And then Chrisean gets hella mad. She pipes up and she's like, well, that's because everyone needs money. Everyone's asking for money. Basically saying, like, okay, y'all wonder why I don't like be listening or want to talk because y'all hitting me up when y'all need some money. And then she makes it clear that she's kind of referring directly more so towards the mom, because we know the mom had drug issues back in the day and has just dealt with some things, and also because of her dealings, put Chrisean and her siblings through some tough childhood times. Then Chrisean, I'm not gonna lie, like I felt kind of bad for the mom, even though like I'm sure it must be a lot of, I don't even say built up anger, but obviously Chrisean's gonna feel a type of way because of like her mom being on drugs, and like, that altered her life and upbringing and being in foster care and all that. But she was like, where do you stay out now? Where were you staying before? Yeah, you were homeless before. Like now you're staying with your daughter. Like, putting it out there like you saying all this, be strong and all this, but it's like, no. And I honestly could see why, like, in a different sense, relating to Chrisean's childhood, why she wouldn't want to maybe have this child, because it's like, things in life happen. So it's like, I had a rough childhood. I wouldn't want to put my child through anything rough, but that's where I see the mom side too. Cause it's like, okay, but you have like, she has a better head on her shoulder than she did her mom, like back in the day. So it's like, you have a chance to honestly break generational curses, honestly. So then she gets on her mom, and this is when I was like, all right. She was like, and I don't like how you disrespecting Blue in the whole conversation. Honestly, bruh, like, fuck Blueface. Like on some real shit. Like the mom was only speaking straight facts about when it came to Blueface, like how he basically ain't shit and he's like changed her. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it was blowing me how like obviously Chrisean's in her feelings, but like she's, going off and like, my nigga, da da da. And I'm like, that's wild. Like you really referring to your mom as my nigga. Like it was really blowing me. I'm like, oh my gosh. But anyways, this is when they take their little break or whatever. And they regroup in the kitchen and it's the four of them. And the older sister is basically like taking charge and it's like, all right, so we all in this together. We're going to this DNA thing. Chrisean, we rocking with you. She's like, I'm here with you 100%. Whatever you want to do, I'm on your side. And I'm glad she has that support from the older sister. Like, like obviously, as we can see, the mom is definitely not pro-choice because she was also being very descriptive with the abortion and like you're being a murderer. And in my head I'm like, but isn't it already known that Chrisean already got abortions in the past? So it's kind of like I don't know how that was. I don't know. So just when you're thinking everything's about to be a spoon coon and everybody's gonna be cool, kumbaya, no, it like this got turned up like out of nowhere. While they're regrouping, the older sister, mind you, they're drinking wine, not Chrisean, but the three of them. So at this point, I'm pretty sure the sister was getting very tipsy because the sister basically went up to her and kind of like nudged her a little bit, like playing around. And Chrisean was not feeling it. And she was like, "Bro, stop! Like, don't touch me! Like, don't push me." And that's when the sister was basically like, "You not being like yourself, blah blah blah. Like, you're always the one who's jumping all over me and breaking stuff, and like basically, dang, the way she was describing her, I was like, dang, like a little Tasmanian devil." But she was just like, you not being like yourself. But it's like at the same time, it's like, I mean, the girl is pregnant. So yeah, she's probably not going to be hella super juiced and hyped. She's probably tired. She's been crying all day. Like, like just put into perspective. But basically, it's like, you're not being yourself, blah, blah, blah. And she kind of starts getting like, like up in her face and getting like heated with her. And then the sister starts like standing up and for real, like, they're kind of like getting into it. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Latifah, I feel like it's a mixture of just all the heavy emotions. Obviously, Chrisean's her little sister because she kept saying like, "You're my little sister. I care about you." But I feel like she started like tweaking because then she goes by Chrisean in the kitchen, like kind of like not in the corner, but I guess she touched her because Chrisean literally pushes her, and it's like, "Get off of me!" And then the sister literally goes to swing at Chrisean. And thank God the older sister was there, but she was there and got in the middle of it and she ended up getting knocked by the sister. I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, your sister is pregnant. Like, I don't care how mad you are. The fact that you would really try to take off and swing on her and she's pregnant, that is insane. I'm like, wow. So obviously the older sister's heated because she just got knocked in the face and she like going off too, like, and I guess some of their I don't know which one's husbands was there, but they stepped in. They're trying to calm stuff down. At this point, Zeus had to jump in because they even know themselves, like, okay, she's pregnant, like, nah. And even Chrisean was like, get her out of here, like escort her. So Zeus and security and the I think one of the producers, whatever, they get involved. They escort her out or whatever. They're trying to calm her down. At one point they bring her to like a different part of the house and they're trying to talk to the sister, calm her down. The sister was over there talking about, that's my little sister, I just want the best for her. And they're like back in the kitchen, but obviously there's some distance, and the sister just basically has like a meltdown and is going off, and she's just saying how Chrisean's being uncultured right now. She was like, I don't like, basically talking about Blueface. She was like, I'll kill that nigga, da, da, da. I'll kill that bot. Like, she was going in. And low-key, a part of me, like, yes, she was doing way too much, but I think too, because of all the stuff that Chrisean has been through with Blueface and stuff, it's like the family has an ongoing rage against him, like, and we got to remember too, last season he knocked out the dad and hella stuff. So yeah, like it's pretty heated. Like, they always gonna be here for Chrisean, but at the end of the day, like, it's fuck Blueface pretty much from the family. And I feel bad for the poor mom because she was just sitting there the whole time just kind of like, damn. Like, like, here I am over here glowing about how you guys are doing so good, then here you all are like fighting. So Latifah, she's crying and she gets basically squirted outside again and she's breaking down. And yeah, in the next scene, we basically have Blueface and Chrisean. They are at the place to get the paternity test done, and it's just them two in there, and they're sitting down. And Blueface is like, "Well, so how was the family?" It's kind of like, obviously she had to catch him up. Like, yeah, so I swung on my sister, like, but I'm pretty sure he's used to the antics throughout her family. But they're sitting there and she's getting emotional because, she now wants this abortion. Even though when she was getting emotional, I heard her say, well, you want this, you don't want to have it no more. So I don't know if it's really Chrisean who wants that for herself or if it's just Blueface, like whatever. But she's sitting there crying and Blueface is over there like smirking, like literally like low key grinning. I'm like, mm. Anyways, so they go in there to get the paternity test done, and the lady was explaining to her how it's going to take a few weeks. And Chrisean's like, a few weeks? And she's like, yeah, a few weeks. No, you can't get a paternity test back overnight. Going back to Blueface, he is just like, it almost feels like he likes seeing her in pain or something, because like he just be doing dumb stuff. Like, for example, she's getting the blood drawn and he has to do a swab or whatever, and Chrisean was asking like, why doesn't he have to do blood work either? And the person was explaining how like, well, it's the cells that come from the mom, blah blah blah. And then here goes Blueface. It's because she wants me to feel the pain. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that kind of made me chuckle, but it's like, shut up. But after that, the mom and the older sister, they go up there to join them now to see the whole ultrasound, and they're gonna find out, I guess, the sex of the baby, all that. So they're all in the doctor's room. It's Chrisean, her mom, the sister, Blueface, and one of Chrisean's friends. And the doctor comes in there and is basically talking to her and, asking who everyone is in the room, and basically asking Chrisean, I guess Chrisean had told her or hinted to her that she possibly wants an abortion and whatever. So the doctor is basically going to determine how far along she is by measuring the baby, because Chrisean doesn't like remember her last period and all that stuff, whatever. So basically, they find out that she is 5 months and like 2 days pregnant. She's pretty far along. And Chrisean asks her, like, well, is that too far along for me to, get the procedure done? The mom instantly is like, yes. And Chrisean is like, Mom, I'm not talking to you. Like, whatever. So tell me why, literally, in the midst of all this, the second Blueface hears how far along she is, he literally is doing calculations on his phone. Literally, just do 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 do. I'm like, this is insane. You are so disrespectful. And even the friend was calling him out. She's like, "You over here doing calculations, da da da." And she's basically standing up for Chrisean and telling him like, this is your baby. Like, stop playing. Him and Krishan's friend get into it because he's over there talking about some. Well, how am I supposed to listen to you when y'all be lying together? In my head, I'm like, ooh, like low key ate on that one, low key, because I'm not gonna lie, she simmered down just a little bit after that. And then he was bringing up like, I remember when y'all was at that high school. Wait, high school. But anyways, they're arguing back and forth or whatever, and he's getting smart with her, like, how do you know, was you there? And he tells her to shut the fuck up, and then she's like, don't tell me to shut the fuck up. And then that's when Chrisean steps in and she's telling her like, bruh, like, stop talking to him, like, like, just drop it. My thing is this, like, it's already bad enough, Chrisean, that like Blueface talks to you like that, but it's like the least you could do is have him respect your family and friends. You shouldn't be telling your friends shut the fuck up. Like, like, that's just like, he's just very, very entitled. I guess I'm not surprised the family didn't jump in, because I guess they know how he is. Just, it is what it is. But anyways, so they separate and Chrisean goes into like the doctor's office, and the doctor's telling her that her expected due date is September 19th. Blueface walks in and she asks her again about, she can be able to terminate the pregnancy. And basically the doctor is explaining to her that it's pretty much highly unlikely, especially because it's just because of the paternity. It's not like a medical, like, like where you need to, for her being that far along, it's nothing like major that's going to affect her where she needs to terminate it. And she basically telling her, like, I'll see what I can do. You're going to have to get like extra blood work, blood tests. But like, she's pretty much letting her know, like, girl, stop. It's way too late. So they are all in the hallway at this point. It's the friend, Blueface, the mom, sister, and Chrisean. And Blueface is basically talking to, I guess, like the sister and Chrisean, and he was just saying how, like, Chrisean, like, I want her to communicate with me, but she just don't be communicating with me, and she be lying, and that's why we're in this situation now. And then he was telling the sister, like, no lie, 8 out of 10. Like, I feel like that's my kid. But at the end of the day, if you lying about your whereabouts and where you at, and you pop up pregnant, then it's like, yeah, I want to know that other what 25%, like what's going on. Which honestly is understandable if she was out there cheating or whatever. But it's still like he's just so extra about it. And he's so fake. 'Cause he's over smiling in the sister's face, and he was like basically telling her it's not even the cheating that I care about. It's just like she could tell me. I take her back every time anyways when she with a dude. I was like, oh. So basically y'all pretty much have an open relationship. So that's why I'm like, okay. No lie, when he said that, I'm like, okay, granted, he's doing a lot, but it's like, if it really is that open as he's saying, then it's like, okay, you could have let him know, like, just be honest. But obviously, she'd rather have a kid with a Blueface than somebody else. So I'm, if it's in the air that she may not know who is who, then yeah, I see her lying. So I'm not gonna lie, as the episodes are going on, I'm kind of like he's revealing a little bit more and more tea, where I'm like, you're still doing too much, but like you do have a point. Because even the sister was like basically kind of like agreeing with him, and she was like, well, she's being honest now. And I'm just like, damn. So after that, like they're about to walk out, and Krishan's mom is like out in the lobby, and she's trying to talk to her and give her advice. Krishan don't want to hear it, and she starts getting mad and starts like yelling at her, and it's like, okay, like all that, whatever. She's over it. Older sister, ends up talking to the mom on the side, and she was telling her, like, mom, like, like your advice is well appreciated. Like, trust me, like I get it if she don't get it, but that's the only thing you can do. At the end of the day, basically, like Krishan got to make her own mistakes. You can only tell her so much. Like, yes, we understand you had 12 kids and you've been through it, but it's like, like it is what it is. Like, you can't, don't even waste your breath, honestly, because she gonna do what she want to do at the end of the day, like regardless. The mom had calmed down or whatever when she was talking to the sister, because the sister, like, was like basically trying to calm her down. But then when Krishan and the rest of them came out of like the hospital or whatever, that's when the mom was like, no, I want to say something to Blueface because I know how it is. And Krishan is trying to pull her mom, like, no, like, get away. She is not moving. And it turns into like this whole little scene where like she's trying to, like, the mom is like basically like going off and trying to, like, no, I'm trying to tell him, da, 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 like basically like, no, let me talk to that nigga, like, run it, come over here, like, let me explain something to you. And you can't fault the mom, because obviously the mom cares about her daughter, and we know obviously Blueface be putting her through the ringer. But yeah, so basically, that was the end of the episode. If you like this review, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to scan that QR code or click the link in the description. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.